Can you talk a little bit about your duet with Blake and Adam and the guitar?
Well, what can I say about that? Even in rehearsals, we knew it was going to be a fun one. Me and Blake, every time we rehearsed it, we were, falling about laughing, just from the sheer stupidity of what was going on stage. But what we didn't know was that in rehearsals, Adam was fully dressed. So when he came on stage tonight, that was the first time that he'd done the whole headband shirt off thing. So that just added to it. It was a great fun way to kind of poke fun at ourselves and have a good laugh.
We were saying he looked like Anthony Kiedis from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, and you know what? The funny thing is actually that so apparently some people on the show had to tweet that it was Adam, because some people were like, "Hey, who was the shirtless guitar guy?"
Wow.
And we're like, "No, it was Adam Levine." But no, it was a really nice way to kind of celebrate the end of the show, and I know that performance I'll remember for a long time.
Do you think that'll get you a couple extra votes?
I don't know, maybe. If certainly the Aerosmith fans out there might throw a couple my way. Either that or the shirtless Adam fans might want to throw a couple my way. But no, it was a great energy, and it was a kind of nice way to balance out the heavier side of I Want to Know What Love Is and Broken Wings, and then you throw fun rock and roll at them. So
So looking back over your performances for the season, if you had to pick one that was like completely indicative of you as an artist, and the one that you want fans to remember you by the most on this show?
I think the one that resonated most with me was I Want to Know What Love Is. I wouldn't have imagined it connecting the way it did, but the way it was stripped down reminded me of a lot of the music, the original music I did with my band from Scotland. It reminded me of that feeling of being on stage, pouring your heart out. So I think that connection reminded me that I need to get back out there and get back to making music. And I would have hoped that moment was strong enough that people would remember it. And that was also a moment that did very well on iTunes, and I think that was a bit of a game changer, which is ironic because Stay With Me by The Faces, which I did, I love doing that, but it shows you that rock maybe doesn't sell as well as it used to because it didn't do as well on iTunes. But I was jumping around like an idiot. So apparently jumping around like an idiot is not enough these days. But no, both those performances I think were indicative of who I am and what I'd like to do in the future.
Okay.
Well, I mean, given that this is it, I mean, there's nothing,
Nope.
there's no other performances to kind of win votes after tonight. Are you doing anything extra special to try to get people to pick up the phone, to text, to buy things off iTunes tonight?
No, frankly, no. I've left my performances out there. If people feel strongly enough about them, they'll vote for me. And I know that the others have got large fan bases as well. And if they win it, it'll be because they deserve it, and more people want them to win it. So, I'm happy to leave it in America's hands. And if it's not me, then so be it. I'll go on and make music, and I'll be the first to buy theirs.
Okay. Now tonight you had another surprise from Blake with your dad.
Yeah.
Like the past 2 weeks,
like,
you've kind of been like,
I said to him, dude, what's next? Like for the Tuesday show, what are you going to hit me with? How are you possibly going to beat me on that one? No, it's a wonderful surprise. I haven't seen my dad in 4 years. He kind of has to watch from afar, being back in the UK. So the fact that he could come over and participate is great. And the last time he was here was when he came to see me with my band play at the Viper Room after we'd signed the record label. So it's nice for him to kind of catch up on this chapter. Although I did say to him, apparently I have to have a record deal or be on a TV show for him to come see me in LA. So I said we have to kind of stop that. You have to love me all the time. So.
Nice.
Well, did you feel that, because Blake did have 2 contestants in the final 3, did you feel like any jealousy that you didn't have them all to yourself, or was there any time you felt you lost because of that?
Not at all. I think quite the opposite, in fact. Me and Cassidy have been really close throughout the competition and right to the very end. I'm sure we'll remain that, and I'm sure we'll be friends after this, good friends. So I'm just very happy to see her perform well. In fact, I even said to Blake, I emailed him and said, this is great having 2 and 3 because I want a win for Blake as well. I want at least one of us to win it, so that Blake stays top of the pile because he's been nothing but supportive and thoughtful and kind to us throughout the whole experience. So I want him to win it.